Am I the asshole for being the reason why the family vacation has to be cancelled? Okay, to make it short, I married for money. My husband is with me for appearances and we are happy with our arrangement. My husband and I married because I have all the qualifications to please his family and he takes financial care of me. We are very fond of each other and even love each other. But not in the classical marriage sense. We are like amazing roommates with some benefits. He and I are free to live our lives independently and without stresses. He is not worried about being cut off from his family and I am finally financially stable and am free to work my job that simply is not as economically beneficial. To the problem, my sisters have never approved of my decision. They say I sold myself. Which, fair. But still we used to be civil with each other. Last week we had a family barbecue. I went without my husband. Everything was going great until my oldest niece sat down next to me and we started talking. And then she asked me straight up, if I was with my husband for money. I explained to her how we met, our agreement and so on. She then asked me if I think it would be okay for her to pretend to be her gay best friend's GF. I told her it was up to her to decide and if there was no negatives to it, like her having actual feelings for him, someone getting hurt like a romantic partner, etc. etc. It was a lovely talk. Strike two was apparently when my other nieces asked me where my husband was and I told them that he was on vacation. They asked me why I didn't go with him and I said that we only sometimes go together to vacations. We usually take little trips together but go on longer vacations with friends or family. My niece asked me if it was true what her mom and aunt said about me being a gold digger and I just said I guess so. Like, that doesn't faze me. I know my sisters constantly talk about me behind my back and I am not ashamed about my marriage at all. So I see no need to lie. Later that night my sisters cornered me and we had a fight about my words with my nieces. They said it was completely inappropriate what I told them. That I am free to live my fucked up life but to not let my niece think that it is okay what I do. I called them small-minded and that I was only answering my niece's questions and I was even honest. They are free to do their own decisions. My sisters kept cornering me, calling me all sorts of names and saying I was basically influencing their daughters negatively because I was miserable. I said some words back and left, not talking to them the whole week. Now there is a huge fallout because I pulled out of the family vacation because of this fight. But the vacation would be at my husband's summer house. And as I am not going, my husband doesn't feel comfortable lending my family the house. My family has been calling me a huge and my sisters said that I was blowing things out of proportion. Am I the asshole? Should I still go? X200B. Let's get this straight. You married a guy for his money, and he married you as a cover. That works for you. However, your family judges you for it, until they don't get to stay at his beach house because they disrespected you. You can't have your cake and eat it, too. Not the asshole, they can't criticize your marriage and rip benefits from it. From what you say, both you and your husband entered your marriage with eyes wide open and you've never lied about it to your family. You don't need to be ashamed of it. Your nieces are 16 and hear about your marriage from your sisters, so nothing wrong with being honest. They're old enough. Tell your sisters the house is from your fucked up life, so you're just saving them any further grief. Not the asshole. The only reason your nieces brought up you being a gold digger is that your family described you that way to them. That's your family's fault. Until they brought that up, you had a completely neutral sometimes my husband and I travel together, and sometimes we don't, which is fine, and it's not really anyone else's business how you arrange your lives. Not the asshole. So, you're not allowed to be married for convenience and money, but your family want to use your husband's vacation home for convenience and to save money? Talk about fucking hypocrites. What your arrangement is with your husband is between you and him, nobody else. If your sisters don't like it, then they shouldn't try to use that relationship to benefit themselves. Not everybody wants to find the typical archetype of love and marriage. You do and let them suffer. Also, be sure to point out their hypocrisy. You are not the asshole here. Your family doesn't get to demean and criticize your life choices and then also expect to benefit from those same choices. You absolutely should not go on vacation with them, nor should they be staying on your property after insulting you to your face and behind your back. I wouldn't spend any time with people like that, sisters or not. Ha 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 ha, the irony of them being pissed off at not getting to use your husband's summer house, which they wouldn't have access to if you didn't marry for money, because they judged you and cornered you and complained about your life choices. They can't have it both ways. Not the asshole. It sounds like you gave your nieces honest and reasonable advice. As for your sisters, tell them how hypocritical they are to complain about your life choices and marriage while all the while benefiting from said marriage by getting to use his resources. Not the asshole. You didn't even say anything to them, let alone anything inappropriate. They were asking you inappropriate questions because that's what they heard said about you by their own parents. Your sisters sound jealous AF. Not the asshole, but I don't think you need to be so harsh on yourself or your husband. All relationships are partnerships, and work in different ways. You clearly care for this guy and respect him, and he clearly trusts and respects you, so frankly stop calling yourself names and accept that you have a good relationship with someone you care about. It all sounds very sensible and mature. Not the asshole. Oh no, the consequences of their actions. Christ, if you're happy they should be happy for you. There is more to life than the way they live their lives. Good on you being happy and helping your husband. Not the asshole. She still expected to use your husband's beach house. How was it inappropriate for you to confirm what they had already told their daughters? I think it's far more inappropriate that they told their daughters anything about your marriage. Not the asshole. Ha 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 ho. First of all, I find it hilarious that your sisters sit there and talk shit on you to their kids and expect them not to ask questions. Second, given your personal state of mind around the whole lifestyle, I'm surprised they expect something less than honesty when their kids ask you those questions. Third, the size of the balls necessary to be mad they can't stay at your husband's beach house on account of their own fuckery is beyond comprehension. Not the asshole. So they think you're a gold digger, but they have zero problems and clearly some feelings of entitlement about using your husband's property for a free holiday. Is there such thing as gold diggers in law? Just kidding, you and your husband are adults with an agreement in place that works for both of you. It's frankly no one else's business how you live your life. Ha 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 ha, you gold digger you. Totally inappropriate for you to have such a wonderful life and we reject you. Is it okay if we still use the villa? They don't like losing the privilege of your trappings though. Not the asshole. They want financial benefits for free and are not even able to be nice to you. So seems like they need a new accommodation for their summer vacation. They're just as much gold diggers as you are, relying on him for a holiday, but without any of your intrinsic honesty. Not the asshole. Your sisters, Otto,